Hi everybody, and welcome to an episode of Celts in the Hut. Yes, okay, I understand the background is quite different. I'm in work right now and I'm in my lab, and I'm basically just I'm working, and I'm basically just doing this. I'm doing a wee quick one to basically just summarise the amount of football that's went on during the week there. Obviously Celtic had their absolutely embarrassing result against Lask on Tuesday night there, which I watched very, very exhaustively, I might add. But for me, you have to kind of look at our level, the level what we are and what we can achieve, and it just comes down to the bare necessities of blaming the board again and not being completely ready for this. So we have to kind of see those facts in general. But yeah, there's been a lot of turns obviously in the Scottish League this week, because obviously you had Hibs get put out and you had Rangers get put out. So really, it's only Celtic and Hearts that are really competing in Europe this year for the Scottish League. So we have to kind of look at that. So I thought to myself, you know what, I'll give it some time to kind of summarise, not being too angry, because I was going to come on Tuesday night and absolutely have a rant about everything that was going on, the team, the management decisions, the board. Why the hell couldn't we take this 3-0 lead and make it something positive? And that's what I'll say. I'll say that within the first half, we did look positive to go through, and we looked good, and it made me think to myself, like, oh well, do you know what, we can do this, we can get through. But then obviously, the second half came along, and Lask just, as soon as they got their second goal, that was them. They were flying. And you have to kind of say that when you're coming away from a game like that with 40 shots for the opposition team, you kind of think to yourself, like, yeah, something's not right there. And if we go into the Champions League, we would be the whipping boys of the Champions League, I think. We're not ready yet. We've not got the players that we need. It's like what I said at the start of the season, we need a complete rebuild. We need a new midfield. We've got the attackers there. We just need the new midfield to kind of help those attackers out. We need at least another winger. We need at least another centre back, because generally I think Carter Vickers and Austin Trusty can get found out. You know what I mean? Like in that region. I don't think Carter Vickers has played enough games in his time. And I think he's just going to end up cropped again. And then you've got your left backs and your right backs. We need covering in those positions, because again, it's one of those things where it's always been a position of Celtic to try and strengthen. And for me, I think it's everywhere in the park that needs strengthened. And to be honest, I think the bench needs strengthened as well, which is quite funny to me, because you think to yourself that you've got near enough a £9 million player on the bench in Hasim Hassan, and you're not bringing him on to try and chase a game. So for me, that's another issue that I'll bring up. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's not completely right. It's not understandable. We do need work done in this season to try and make things better. I know the fans and myself came away from that game and thought to themselves, that was the most embarrassing performance that we've ever had. But to be honest, it's a wake-up call, because we aren't done yet with this board. We aren't done with the whole penny pinching, the whole trying to find the gem, the whole can't basically strengthen the team in the right times or the right areas to get into these Champions League qualifier, to get out of these Champions League qualifiers and into the group. So yeah, for me, it's outrageous, but it's an eye opener. And I think when you have some time to go away and reflect on the players that we've got in the team, and I know a lot of people have been getting on McCown's case, and I understand that. After that game, I was saying things like he wasn't a footballer and all that kind of thing, but then after it I felt a bit bad because he got brought on, and I don't know if he was given instructions to maybe sit back, but I don't know if that's just player intelligence. For him to try and make things happen up front instead of just trying to get the ball away, is something I think a footballer knows in his head straight away. Like, if you're trying to hold on to a lead, that's what you try and do. And then obviously you're bringing on the likes of Scales, who can't pass the ball out of the defence anyway, so you may as well just try and fucking defend it. But at the end of the day, you end up giving the ball away in several different situations. So there's a lot of bad things there. I mean, if you're looking to your bench and you're bringing on the likes of Ralston, Scales, McCowan, and Hatate even, who doesn't want to be at the club, you're in trouble. You're absolutely in trouble, because you've got nothing there that's going to change that game unless you bring on Hasim Hassan or James Forrest. But anyway, that's what I think. I think going forward, I think the board need to kind of. I think in transfers, I think the board will probably just get maybe one more in, and then the rest will be loan signings, I think. You have to kind of. I'm sorry for burping so much. I've just had my breakfast, and this is a bit of an early one. So I think honestly, in that department, I think that's what the board will probably do going forward, because that's what they are. They don't see the sense in taking this time out of being in the Champions League, and failing it for the 6th time, by the way. That's 6, number 6, which is an extreme failing. And it should be reprimanded, and people should lose their jobs, because again, that's another 40 million down the drain, 40 million that could have been used to strengthen the squad. Now maybe the club will go into its bank account and take some money out of that and strengthen this team, because let's be honest, we've got money. Celtic have got money. They just like to say that they don't, and that's it. So yeah, I think there has to be reprimand. There has to be a couple of smacks in the wrist and stuff like that. Don't do that again. That kind of stuff. There needs to be some bums scalped, to be honest, because that to me was quite embarrassing. And I mean, even though Lasker are a better organised team, I just think that these clubs are more and more getting more developed than obviously the Scottish teams, and the Scottish teams are finding that harder. So yeah, going forward, I think that will be the aim of the game. I think the board should realise this time and take that time and say, right, let's get this team strengthened for next year's competition. Let's get this team strengthened for this season. Let's try and do well in the Europa League and try and get our confidence up there. Try and get our credits, our plaudits for getting far in the Europa League, and we can try and build confidence up that way of players. But I think right now, I just don't see that. I just don't see that we are a Champions League team, and I've said that maybe many times. I didn't want to obviously go into this game. I knew a 3-0 lead would be great, and we got that, but we just couldn't hold on to it. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. Anyway, the best thing to do, Celtic, is win against Falkirk, and win convincingly, because we're at home. So, that has to happen now. You have to gun-ho, you have to give the fans something to kind of cheer about, and that's what I want. I want Celtic to just score a barrel load, because, that result was embarrassing. An embarrassment. We needed a result that's going to pick us up, and that's basically it. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Remember, doing something means everything. I'm at work, so I'm going to do work. Anyway, catch you later. Have a good weekend, folks. Bye.